Hey everyone, and welcome back to Civ 6 as we play through with the Australian Empire and John Curtin. This episode, we are going to be going full out war with Kandy. Going to try and take over that city-state. We're also at war with France over here. We might look into nabbing one of their northernmost cities, especially if they take out Kish. I think it would be a great benefit for us to get into this river area here. We also might look to settle another city somewhere either up here on this one tile island to get all these crab and fish resources, or we might settle a city somewhere over here, which also has some crab and fish tiles that we could work depending on where we settle. We also have some deer, some fur, and some more truffles up here. There's also a barbarian clan that just recently spawned up here. It's very early into the spawn, so we've got 50 plus turns until it converts, but we also might look at buying a unit from them here in the not too distant future. We've got our gold and economy pumping out. We're at 180 gold per turn, sitting on 730 in our bank. We also have 103 science per turn, 15 and a half culture per turn, which is horrible. But we make up for that in science. I believe our nearest competitor in the science tree and science per turn realm is America, and they're sitting at 96 per turn. So we've got a 12 up on them per turn there. We have the scout over here who's been making his way around America and China. We're just going to continue to send him down wherever we haven't explored yet. Candy's going to shoot some of our boats, which I would prefer that. We'll keep some of our ranged units up for attacking, so hopefully we can take that city faster. I'm going to see if I want to shoot, either my capital can shoot this barbarian galley, or I can shoot him with this archer. I would like to kill with this archer, and it doesn't look like I'll be able to do so. And so that I do get some XP, let's go ahead and shoot him with the archer first. It won't be a kill, but we'll still get XP off of the shot there, 4 XP. And our capital will come in for the cleanup and sink that galley. Let's take a look at who else needs to be moved here. We can, if we pillage here, we gain 221 gold, but I think they did all this damage in one turn. I think they'll definitely sink us on the next turn if so. And with that being said, let's back off. We need to get into friendly waters here in order to heal. I'm going to think long and hard about sending this Caravel in because he's going to take a lot of damage, not deal much. And so let's also retreat him one tile back. I don't want him to take damage yet. This warrior, we're also going to step back so that he's not in range of the city defense. This scout is getting into a pickle. We're going to get him away from the barbarian. We're going to get him away from the barbarian clan here. We'll send him north into the last little bit of fog there. Like we said, this scout's going to continue south. We found another city-state down there. Looked like a militaristic city-state. We can read about their suzerainty bonuses here in a moment. Pull them up. Granada. So their suzerainty bonus here allows you to build a tile improvement, which grants 2 culture per turn. Also provides science equal to 50% of the tile's appeal. That would be great for us because we have a very appealing empire. And so if we have like a +4 appeal tile, that would be 50% would be +2 science per turn for each tile that we can improve with that. Unfortunately, in our empire, I don't think that's super useful because a lot of our tiles are mountain tiles around here, or sea tiles where we can't put the improvement. The tiles that we do have, we are already putting to work, and I don't think that I want to destroy any of those districts or improvements just to build a +2 science per turn tile. So we're going to pass on Granada. We don't have any envoys yet, but if we do, I think we're going to plug them into Johannesburg this episode. We have a bit of gold. I'm thinking if I want to upgrade this crossbowman, and I think now is just not the time. I want to save that gold in case I decide to purchase a unit up here, which will be more useful for our ongoing war with Kandy. We're going to step this quadrireme into our territory here and rest and repair. This caravel can stay put. I want to rest this trebuchet probably 1, maybe 2 more turns. Then we can step in again and start attacking. And no matter who they ranged attack, they won't be able to kill all of us. Same thing with this guy. We're going to keep him just outside of the borders for now. This worker is sitting on the tile that I need them to improve, so I'm going to pop into the city. And it doesn't matter which tile we bought here. It's either +1 food and +1 gold, or +1 food and +1 faith. It doesn't matter. We've got 5 pop. They're likely not going to work that +2 tile anyway. We'll go ahead and buy this niter. And with that being done, we're going to come in and build the mine improvement. Will grant us +2 production, +1 faith, and +2 niter per turn. We'll start accumulating that up here on our top bar. This will also allow us to start building some, here we go, some gunpowder-based units. I believe the first unit we can make is a musketman. Yep. Continue to explore the sea up there. Not a whole lot of land, especially great land over there. Not that we were looking to settle this far away, but it looks like mostly deserts. There's some small islands that would be kind of nice, but they're lacking, so far what I've seen, they're lacking a lot of sea resources. Down here would be great. You have a lot of them in that area there. This trebuchet is getting really close. We're going to skip one more turn. Same with these guys up here. Keep them out of the range defense of the city for now. This builder has 2 more charges left on them. And I think one of them is going to go towards this sawmill here. After the sawmill, we might step them over here, maybe get this corn back online, or we'll buy this tile and build a farm on the wheat. Let's pop into our tech tree now that we've finished gunpowder. We have rifling boosted, thanks to our niter mine. That's 7 turns. This is a dead end, and we already said that we want to boost this by buying a second university. We can do banking. I don't think we need to, although it'd be nice to unveil this tech here. But I think what we want to do, let's go for rifling. I think we can get steam power boosted. We just need to build 2 shipyards, and those are not far away. We have a lighthouse coming online here in 3 turns. We've got 1 shipyard that's going to be done next turn. Problem so far with shipyards that we've had is they just take too many turns to make them truly worth it yet. We need to get our production up in our cities. Drop that production queue for a shipyard down to probably less than 10 turns is where I would say it's worth it. If we can't do that, no problem. We just have to go in and spend our gold and buy those improvements. Okay, this trebuchet is getting really close. I think we are safe to move in now. Let's step this caravel in right up against the city tile. It can not, it can attack? It's confusing because it looks like it's out of movement, but now it's giving me the 1 movement to get into these tiles. So I think that it can attack if we so choose to. Let's take a moment and think about that. This trebuchet is going to step forward. It can't shoot this turn. It can't pillage this turn. It doesn't have enough movement left. So let's just put it on Fortify until healed. At minimum, it'll gain +10 health. And this is our time to step these guys right up against the city here as well. So no one's going to attack Kandy this turn, but we will get into that next turn. This city here, our capital, there's no improvement or district that I need to be building right now. We finished our shipyard. We could do a send aid that takes 7 turns. That would buy us some points in the aid request from China. There's 18 turns left on that. We could also alternatively build some military units to send up for our war either with Canada, or sorry, not Canada, Kandy or France if we so choose to. I think Knight would be a great unit to build. We just need to secure horses so that I can heal if they do get injured during combat. Alternatively, we have a settler for 5 turns. I don't think we need to be building either of these wonders here. I do want to get the mausoleum. I think I'm going to do that probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So there's no land that I could build it in this city, which would have been the best city to put it in due to all the shallow sea tiles, and that's all that that city would be working. Actually, I take that back. 1, 2, 3. We can build the mausoleum here, and that is exactly where I want it to be. With that being said, let's grab the settler in our capital. We'll run that settler up there, plop it down on that island as soon as we can. We're going to pop into our quick deals tab here. We can buy some luxury resources for amenities for a little bit of gold per turn and a little bit of upfront gold. That is very worth it. Those are only going to make our cities happier, which increase their efficiency and their production and output. We also got greeted with a deal here. They're offering some gold and open borders for 4 niter. I think I'm just going to refuse that for now. I want to stockpile a little bit of that so that maybe I can make a unit with them soon. A spy from the French Empire was captured during stealing a tech boost mission in one of my cities. And so if you recall, I believe it was the last episode, we had a tech that was stolen from one of our cities, and I said, I bet you that it is France. Turns out we were right on that one. It was France. We have a builder here. Let's step him down and see what we can get with our industries here. Plus 25 faith for the host city if we build this industry on pearls. Faith doesn't really get us anything. We're just not playing a faith game again. And so it's still worth it because it gets us more food, more production, and more gold. But unfortunately, it's just not what we would want as a boost benefit here. We'll go ahead and drop that down. It looks like Kandy did attack my trebuchet again this turn. We could pillage for health, which would not be a bad idea, but if we do that, we don't get another ranged attack off. Let's see. We just really need more ranged units. Let's see what we can buy up here with gold. That would be a ranged unit, allows us to take some shots to weaken their defenses. And I think that is going to be another trebuchet. So let's go ahead and buy that. With owning 2 of those, we got a Eureka towards siege tactics. For now, let's pillage this tile. That'll give us 50 health there. I don't want to attack with this warrior yet because he is only going to get severely damaged. I also don't want to attack with this caravel because he'll also get severely damaged. This scout, it would take quite a while to discover that one tile, but I bet you that there's a goody hut there, a tribal village that we could plunder, which is unfortunate. But we'll leave it be. Maybe we'll discover it when we get satellites and still be able to race over there and grab it. We can't produce a musketman yet. We don't have the 20 niter, which is the exact reason I didn't sell off the 4 that I had. 4 doesn't sound like a lot, but we're only making 2 per turn right now, so that was 2 turns worth towards getting a musketman. We could make a knight. I think we do have, we're making almost 200 gold per turn. We are really cooking it in the gold per turn. Let's plop down a monument. It's going to be 5 turns, but it'll get me +1 culture per turn. And we are really suffering when it comes to culture. Oops, I didn't want to click on you, Harold. But he is getting 86.1 per turn, 80, 50s, 80s, 70s, 40s. And so we need to kick it into gear with culture just to prevent a cultural victory before we get either our science or domination. At this point, I think we're probably going for science. We could go for domination just purely because we'll have so many techs and we'll have advanced military units to take over the world with. We have an envoy here. We could grab suzerainty here, and I think we will. I know I said we were going to plug him into Johannesburg, but it just won't get us suzerain. And right now I want the Diplo favor, so we will take over suzerainty up here. Unfortunately, this scout just is having a horrible time trying to move around the world. I feel bad for him. Unfortunately, Kandy did take out the trebuchet that we had over here on this tile. They also spawned a musketman, which is just like an unholy roll that they had to produce a unit when we just literally uncovered them. We could, I think we're just going to gold buy units, so I'm not too worried about producing units up here. It would be great if we could get a shipyard. 27 turns, though, just really stinks. Let's go ahead and do that. I don't think we need walls. I don't think they're going to be attacking our cities anytime soon. Let's move this quadrime up here. Maybe step this caravel to the side. This way, this quadrime can step up, and maybe next turn can ranged attack that musketman. We are getting a little bit of a boost if we attack this city right now due to the troop stepping out of the tile. He's no longer granting the benefit of standing in there. So why don't we do just that? I know it's going to hurt him quite a bit, but we can potentially plunder next turn and gain back some health. Likely what's going to happen is this musketman will step into the city and defend next turn, which is fine. We also have a trebuchet here that I can move up to the front lines. Next turn he'll be able to shoot Kandy. We're going to plop down that lumber mill, granting us +2 production per turn there. We have this builder down here. Let's see, I think it's going to want me to build a lumber mill there, and it might be worth it. We'll take a look at it. We've met another scientific city-state. Pop in here and see what... They've got 4 envoys plugged in right now. They also have Armani, one of the governors, plugged in from someone. Don't think we're going to be chasing them too hard. We're already pumping out a ton of science, and so it's not like we need a lot of help in that world. Kandy's going to attack my warrior here. Did quite a bit of damage, but I think they just did a ranged attack with their city, and they didn't shoot with the musketman, which is great because I think that musketman would basically one-shot him at this point. And we need to do whatever we can to get a musketman sooner than later. That's going to help us win any war that we're in 10 times faster. Unfortunately, I just don't think anyone has Niter yet, and they're definitely not willing to sell it if they do. So we have this builder. He's got one charge left. Let's send him over here. We'll repair this crop field. This trebuchet is going to shoot and do some minor damage to the walls there. This quadrireme is going to shoot in as well and do some more range damage to the city. I don't think it's going to be worth it, but let's take a look. With our caravel, it is not worth it. But we can plunder a French trade route. We're at war with them too, so it's only going to grant us gold. I will do that. 170. It's almost a turn worth of gold, almost. That's how much gold we're making here. This warrior needs to heal, otherwise he dies next turn, and I don't think fortifying will grant him enough heal. We could either retreat here, which is probably the play it safe bet, but I think I'm going to take my chances. Let's pillage for health. I'll get him 50 health points. I do worry that this musketman is going to just absolutely wipe him out in one shot, but let's find out. It's the fun of the game. Okay, so the city looks like they did a ranged attack on my quadrireme. Took them down about 50% of their health again. We'll probably have to step them out and heal them if we care about saving that quadrireme. The scout is out of movement. This builder, we don't want to harvest that tile yet because we don't have Magnus plugged in yet. There's just not much for this builder to be doing, especially down here at the time being. We could purchase a tile. We would either purchase this fish tile, or this fish tile. Why don't we do that? We'll grab that one down there. I'll send him back out in the water. This quadrireme, I think the best thing to do is run him away and we'll heal him. Let's first open our combat turn with a ranged attack from our trebuchet. It's going to do wall damage again here. Whatever we do, we don't want to make this warrior any lower health than he already is. And in fact, the smart thing is either going to be fortify until healed or just run him away. Let's go ahead and fortify him. Let's also pop in and see what it would take to buy, whoops, not what I want to be clicking on, what it takes to buy a knight. So 880 gold, it actually takes 20 iron instead of horses. We do have the iron, but we don't have any accumulating, so we might need to buy more just to make sure he can heal. Alternatively, we could grab a man-at-arms. So 45, 45. And I'm looking at their strength here. I think the knight is the way to go. It's a little bit more gold, but it gets also a little bit more strength. So we'll go ahead and buy him. We'll have enough movement speed. I think he can either get within one tile or into Kandy next turn. We'll find out. We'll rest you. We're going to take this scout. Let's pop over here first, and then we'll crawl him up on land and see if maybe there's a tribal village left over here as well. At this point in the game, grabbing a tribal village would be pretty OP because it's going to have a, if it has a tech boost, it's going to be a great tech boost. It's going to buy us a lot of science per turn savings. If it gets us gold or something like that, it's also going to be a lot of gold per turn since we're so late game. We've completed rifling at this point. Continue to explore with the scout wherever he can. At this point, I think I'm just going to walk him around into the ocean there. The safest way up north with our settler here, I think, is going to be this path here. I want to avoid Kandy's borders at all costs, which this is doing so. That feels pretty safe. Let's just schedule him to that aqueduct tile for now. He might need an escort getting through these waters with the barbarians so close, but we'll find out soon enough. I'm not willing to take my troops off of Kandy just yet to escort him. We've got at least 4 turns until he gets up into this landmass. We're going to start our combat like always with our ranged attack. You can't take a city with a ranged attack, and so you want to open with that, bring the city's defenses down as much as possible, and then save your melee attack for potentially taking over that city if you get them low enough. Siege tower isn't going to do anything here. We still can't attack with this warrior. Let's take a look at this knight. And yes, he does have enough movement to get into the city this turn, but it would not be wise. We'll move him within 1 tile, and we'll skip the turn there. Actually, just kidding. I want to wake him up and fortify him. That way, if the musketman attacks him, we get a little bit bonus defensive strength against him. Let's go ahead and repair this tile. I have a feeling it's going to get plundered again by a storm, but maybe we get a few turns worth of production or something out of it. Food, I guess. Food and gold. We're making the exact amount of gold per turn to buy this tile. So this is 1 turn worth of gold. We just bought it. We're going to step this builder onto it, and same turn we can drop the fish farm onto it. This scout has officially gone as far as he can this way. We're just going to walk him straight onto land from here. I don't think there's a whole lot to discover, but at this point there's nothing else that we haven't discovered yet, so the scout is almost useless to us. Popping into our tech tree here, industrialization would be great. We don't have any industrial zones yet, so it's not really getting us a whole lot with a factory, but I think it's still worth it. It's 12 turns. We will likely get military science boosted very soon. We now have a knight, so as long as we can kill a unit with that knight, we'll get that boost. Alternatively, we have siege tactics boosted, which just gets us walls and forts, and it's a dead-end tech. We don't need printing yet. We don't need banking. We could use metal casting. That would increase our trebuchets to bombards. And thinking about it, that is probably worth it. Why don't we start on banking and we'll go direct banking into metal casting? If in the case that we do keep these, what do we got? 1 trebuchet left. If we keep them alive, we can upgrade them. We can also buy another bombard, and I think having 2 bombards also grants you a boost on the tech tree, so that would be worth it in 2 different ways. Popping into our capital here, the theater squares just look so enticing, but we're going to hold off for now. I think we'll probably grab the monument. It's going to increase our culture per turn, even though it's just a little bit. And I actually lied. I really want to get another trader. That is just going to make our economy go into ultra sicko mode here in a moment. So he's going to continue attacking that warrior, which I think is fine. They're not killing him, which is all that we need him to do. If all he's doing is absorbing those attacks every single turn, then we are golden. Okay, we're going to start our combat with our trebuchet again. Weaken the city as much as we can. After that, let's take a look with our knight. Will it be worth it? It is still not worth it. We can pillage for health if we get into a scenario where we need that. We don't need to pillage the road. It's not really granting us any benefit there. We're going to rest with the knight and the caravel and siege tower. And warrior is going to stay fortified until healed. They're going to continue to absorb those blows. This builder has 1 turn left. Why don't we... Ooh, you know what? We don't have horses. We do kind of need horses. So we'll step them up there and set a pasture on those horses. This builder has 1 turn left, and he has been a challenge to find things for him to build the entire time. Let's grab those fish. Not that it really matters that much, but we'll start sending them up there to put the fish farm down there. Pop into our production here as well. Why don't we don't need walls. Why don't we get started on either the university or the shipyard? Which one is cheaper to buy is what I want to know. So the university is slightly cheaper to buy. We'll get started on the shipyard then. We'll buy the university in a few turns. Kandy's going to shoot that warrior and almost kill them this turn. That likely means it's time for us to retreat that warrior and heal them back to full. We'll do just that. We'll take the trebuchet here. And with him, we're going to attack Kandy again. Let's see how much damage that does. He did earn a promotion. This knight is still outclassed, and so is this caravel. The unfortunate reality with taking the city, and why it's taking so long, again, I'm going to pop in, buy these horses. That's all I need here, and set down my pasture. And again, playing as John Curtin, dropping a pasture as a cultural bomb, so that's why I just acquired these 2 tiles here for free. That's fine. I would have gotten these 2 tiles had this been on this tile, but because it's 3 tiles from our city center here, he did not grab those 2 tiles with the culture bomb, which is fine. The issue with Kandy here and why it's taking so long to take over the city is I can't get a flanking bonus here with this knight because there's only one land tile here. I could get 2 troops over here, which would be great to do. I just haven't had the troops to do so with. But doing that would grant me a flanking bonus in combat against the city-state. I would love to make my next troop a musketman, and I would probably like to just buy them outright so that I get them in one turn. But regardless, I still don't have enough niter yet. We're one turn away. We've got 18 stockpiled, and I need 20. How much does a musketman cost? Musketman is 960. We're one turn away on niter, and we are 2 turns away on gold. Next turn will be just over 860. So in 2 turns, we'll get our musketmen. I think that'll really expedite this war here. What we do need to keep an eye on is France moving troops over here. I don't think they're coming for us. I think they're likely coming up here, but we'll keep an eye on them. That being said, let's pop back into the city. We need to pick something for its production queue. Some of these tiles look fantastic to put a preserve on. We're just not going to do that yet. Probably what I will do, just for safety reasons, let's build ancient walls in case these troops are coming for us. We can then defend. The scout is on land here now, and unfortunately there's nothing here for us to grab, so I think that does it. We can come down and explore this little area here, but that just about does it in terms of land discovery for scouts. Why don't we tap into this clan? I don't really need that unit, and it's 700 gold-ish, which I didn't have yet. Unfortunately, it does look like France is coming at us with some troops, so we do need to get that musketman as soon as possible. We have finished our trade route here. Let's see. I want to sort by gold, and no one is going to offer me an envoy, so that's not really worth anything there. I think China has a lot to say. They are giving me science per turn, which would be awesome. They're 9 gold less per turn than Norway is, though. But for the science, I think that it's worth it. Why don't we take this Chinese trade? We did get our inspiration towards medieval fairs. This quadrireme is full health. We could also upgrade him to frigate, but that would use up all of our niter that we just saved up, so I'm not going to do that. I will walk him up as far as I can towards Kandy right now, though. This trebuchet has a promotion. I'm going to save it since he's taking damage now from the city. We will shoot this turn against Kandy. We'll save the promotion probably for next turn once he gets to half health. That'll heal him all the way back up. This warrior, I want to save my gold. It would be great to upgrade him, but if I do, I lose all my gold and niter for that upgrade to a weakened troop. So I'm just going to fortify him until he's healed. The siege tower will likely move with the musketmen once I buy him next turn, but for now we're just going to put him back to sleep. These troops do look like they're coming for us, so we might have to defend against them. And we're going to rest this knight as well this turn. Let's just automate this scout down here. I don't want to have to click every turn to move him down there, so we won't. Our capital needs production. It's going to be 1 turn for a monument, because why not? 1 turn will grant us 1 culture per turn. We need to come in and buy that fish tile, which we just did. We'll take our builder and pop down that fish farm. Some of these tiles are starting to get nasty.
With the advance of feudalism came the growth of iron armor, until, at last...
We've finished our civic there. Let's pop into our government and see if we need to swap any policy cards. We don't want to change natural philosophy. We don't want to change naval infrastructure. It's getting us +4 production, which is the same as urban planning, as well as 15 gold per turn. Both of those, gold and science, are what we're doing best right now in. We don't need diplomatic league, so we'll keep that plugged out. And we don't need inspiration, so we'll keep our great writer points going. So no changes to our government. We will need to get into our civic tree and take a look at what we want to start researching next. And I think the answer there is medieval fairs. It is a dead-end technology, but it's boosted. I'm sorry, not technology, civic. It is a dead-end civic, but it is boosted. There are some cards that we could potentially use. I'm looking at this one here. That'll produce 100% theater square district adjacency bonus. So once we get our +4 theater square, it'll become a +8. Don't think we need either of those cards. It would grant us our unique Outback Station, which is a tile improvement. But why don't we, you know what, why don't we just go for Divine Right? We're not going to get it boosted. We're not going to build 2 temples. And we need to research it to get into the later civic tree. So we'll do just that. This quadrime needs to range shoot the city here. This trebuchet would be great if he could shoot the city. Unfortunately, he needs to promote so that he can heal. +7 combat strength while defending would make a lot of sense because he's been defending a lot of the shots recently. But it's just not that useful. I think I need to take grapple shot, which I will. That'll allow him to heal +50 health, and I think that'll buy us one more turn of attacking before he needs to retreat and heal, if we decide to do so. We do have our gold now, so let's come in and purchase that musketman. Not enough gold in treasury. Oh, we don't have enough gold. Interesting. I thought we were going to be over the gold limit that we needed, but I guess not. We don't want to attack with that knight. We don't want to attack with this caravel. Those troops are still standing out there. We're going to slowly move this settler up. I think what I'm going to do is walk him into the city, get him into the shallow sea here, get some vision, make sure that these barbarians didn't spawn a ship. And then if it's all clear, I'm going to make a run for that tile up there. Let's pop into our capital. We need to select something for production in the capital, and it could very well be another settler. Just kidding. We could grab the musketman in 4 turns down here, but that uses all of our niter, and then we would also have the turns of walking him up there. Yeah, that's not worth it. Let's go and grab another settler. I think we'll settle somewhere in here as well as this tile. Kandy has elected to shoot my quadrime again instead of shooting my trebuchet, which is awesome. I would much rather them do that. I think I can safely shoot here without being sunk next turn, and so I will do just that. This freshly healed trebuchet is going to stand in place and shoot again. I think one more shot from this trebuchet will knock out these walls and make this city significantly easier to take by force. This knight is getting very close to being able to attack and not immediately die. This caravel, same way. We'll keep that in mind. I do want to see what was pillaged, but I keep getting prodded to make my moves here. So, okay, we click on this. It said that this was pillaged by barbarians. That must have happened a little while ago, and I didn't notice it until just now. We'll need a builder down there to repair that, but I really just don't need to or want to buy a builder down there right now. But speaking of buying, we do need to come in here. We can finally afford our musketman. We're going to buy that. As expected, that gave us an inspiration towards mercenaries. We will gladly take that. And with that being said, I know we're not going to capture Kandy, but we're going to play our one last turn for this episode. America has an agreement here for some niter. I'm going to politely refuse that. Although it gets us quite a bit of gold, it's just not worth losing the niter for right now. Crazy enough, China does have a lot of niter stockpiled, and I'm curious, it would help us out in our wars if we can buy some off of her. Let's see what the going rate for 20 niter will be. 6 gold per turn. This is actually quite expensive. 6 gold per turn and 51 one-time deal. That would be expensive if I wasn't just absolutely bankrolling the game and making 231 per turn. So I don't have a problem with that. If we add Mercury, she only bumped it up a little bit. Let's take it. Mercury will get us an amenity as well. Candy's going to shoot my quadrime. It has like 1
If you owe
health
the bank
left.
$100, that's your problem.
Calculated.
If you owe the bank one,
So we finished banking here. This could be a problem. We're going to have to shoot this barbarian ship with our capital walls first. Then let's come in and shoot him with our archer, which is going to do almost no damage. What I worry about is he's just going to start plundering all of my tiles, which is going to really suck. But so is life. We need to run this guy back if we want to save him, which we do. We want to start our combat turn with our ranged trebuchet. This will almost take the walls out. Just not quite. It's been really annoying. It's just not been enough to knock out the walls. This is going to take 3 turns for this musketman to get down here. That's kind of crazy. Well, we'll do that. I know I said I was going to play it safe with this settler, but I just want to get that city online, so I'm going to send him full bore into the ocean. This knight is just not worth it yet, nor is that caravel. France has troops that are just sitting out here, and I'll take it. If they're not going to attack me, they can stand guard all they want. Maybe she's going to be amassing troops to send in a wave, which would really stink, but we'll find out. But with that being said, we will find that out in the next episode. Thanks for joining, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please feel free to leave a comment, and we'll see you in the next episode.